So this is a very, very important point. The moment you fear something, you actually attract it. Mother says in the next passage that fear is hidden consent. You're saying yes to it. You're saying the possibility is there. And the moment you sanction the possibility, you're manifesting it because your mind is very powerful. It has the power of manifestation. So, Mother says fear is hidden consent. When you're afraid of something, it means that you admit its possibility and thus strengthen its hand. It can be said that it is subconscious consent. Now, how many of us feel we succumb to this fear when things go wrong in the body? Yeah, a lot of us, right? What is our fear really about? Can we articulate what are the kind of sentences that go through our head? Yeah, suppose I die. What else? I'll suffer so much. What else? Huh? I'll be dependent on others. I'll lose faculties. What else? Huh? It's a nameless dread of the unknown. You don't know what it will lead to, so that frightens you, right? Okay. That also happens. Sometimes it is fear of the unknown. You don't know where it will lead. So the point is, we are living actually in a realm of unknown all the time, right? And a lot of our paranoid behaviors because we don't know. Forget to the body. We don't know what's going to happen to our relationships tomorrow, to our work tomorrow, to anything. But that's where we live in surrender. I keep repeating Sri Aurobindo's words that in the final analysis, you need to know only two things, that you have a soul within and grace above. If you know this, you don't need to know anything else because that's going to take care of everything, right? So if that applies to circumstances of life, more challenging when there's an illness, but when thoughts come, I don't know where it will lead, where it will go. If I can draw on this faith in my heart, that, that beautiful line from the song Amazing Grace, it was grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace shall take me home. Whichever way it will go, I'll be protected, I'll be guided, a solution will come. And in fact, the more I give in to fear, the more I block myself off from the guidance and the solutions that come. It's a phase in my life. I'll go through it, I'll come out stronger, I'll come out healed. The more you hold on to this faith, and the more that is your inner dialogue rather than fear, the more accessible the healing is. Look back on your past. All of us have been through our glitches, physical and otherwise. And hasn't things somehow almost magically guided, taken us out of it, brought us back on our feet? But every time we go through the cycle, we seem to forget that that was the process. That's what Sri Aurobindo and Mother are paving the way for. The supramental consciousness is a consciousness of eternal youth. Uh, when the body gets supramental, see, why do Mother said no, we fall ill because other parts of us are growing, but the body is constantly not keeping pace. The body is falling back as we are growing. So, as a consequence, the body is degenerating till it dies. But when the body consciousness opens to the supramental light, the body also grows along with other parts of our being. Then in the supramental world, there won't be a death. It will be an eternal youth. But that is, of course, when it happens. But at at the stage of evolution that we are at, we can consciously collaborate in any way we like. And the more we open to the light, particularly the body, the more we'll see this happening with us. We'll fall in less and less and we'll recover faster. But to some extent, that opening of the body consciousness is not so much in our hands because the body is the least plastic, the most dense. But if we keep our faith in the mother and we keep calling to her, she knows how to make the body consciousness receptive and open. Hmm? So, yes, yeah, yeah, louder. The body is not keeping pace, but the other things are growing. Your mental, vital, whatever. Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are the other things. The other parts of your being are growing with the light, but the body is not being able to keep pace. So if we change that, and do you think it's actually impossible to change the inner dialogue from fear to faith? Yes, it's possible. But why is it difficult? Why is it difficult? So suppose in the moment you don't have access to that faith, then what do you do? You don't have access to the surrender also. In that moment, you might be in, huh? Very good. That's the best. Mother has said that even if it's mechanical, take my name. Even if you mechanically repeat my name, I get some inroad to enter you. And have a very candid conversation with her. Mother, right now I don't have any faith. I feel you're very far away, you're very distant, whatever. Just talk to her like you would and tell her that you help me out, you give me this faith. I don't want to succumb to fear. At least declare that much allegiance to her. That sometimes we are almost superstitious. We feel the more we worry about something, we are protecting ourselves. No, that's stupidity. The more you worry about anything, you're sending it negative energy. You're not doing it good. When you worry about someone, you're sending that person negative energy. When you worry about your body, you're sending your body negative energy. So at least break that allegiance to fear and worry. And at least declare that I want allegiance to light and faith and luminosity and joy and happiness, and then see she'll take her action. I mean, her action we can't understand, we can't even formulate because it doesn't go along one line. It will work this way once, it will work that way once. If that's not an option and you have a connection in the heart or the overhead, what we did you find a connection? You did. So sometimes connecting with that helps the most. I've shared this in a previous talk. Once when somebody very close to me was going through something really terrible, uh, it's like you feel one with that person and you're constantly feeling low and you're constantly feeling that person's pain. And it was like being in a kind of nightmare all the time. And then I suppose mother only spoke to me through my thoughts. She gave me this practice of staying in the heart with her for 108 breaths. And it was like magic. After 108 breaths, the pain would be completely gone. But after 1.5, 2 hours, it would come back. So every 2 hours, for I think 2 days, I would do 108 breaths in the heart with her. And by 2 days, the whole thing was gone. And once it was gone inside me, I like to believe it shifted outside also. That's the way you make life work. If there's chaos outside, the energy of that chaos is inside you. But if you invite mother to clear that chaos inside you, it automatically shifts outside also. So that is one way, or you could just focus on your breath, anything that makes you quiet. Try different ways. There's not one thing that will work for everyone. Different things work for different people. Sometimes just chanting 21 ohms. Ohms is a very powerful word. You remember, mother had said that once when she was in France and she didn't know anything about the ohm except that it's a sacred word. And somebody had come, so an Indian had come to France to give a talk, and he started chanting Ohms, and mother had vision. She was born with it. Moment he chanted Om, she said she felt the whole room fill up with golden light. So you can, if nothing else, chant 21 Ohms or whatever mantra, see what works. But find your access to light. That is very important. And for that, you should have a willingness to have an inner allegiance to it and break your allegiance to negative thinking, pessimism, and fear.